How do I write a blog post that ranks for SEO on ideally page 1 of Google, but also keeps people on my website and not just clicking away immediately? We're going to talk about that today, how you can outline a really killer blog post, keep people on your page, and hopefully boost your search rankings in the process. So I'm going to give you a couple of ninja tips for SEO in this video. If you didn't already know about them, you're welcome. How do you actually outline a blog post that actual piece of final content is going to rank? Well, you start by doing your keyword research. Now, I've already done a video on keyword research. It's right over here if you want to watch it. I will also link it in the description down below so you can watch that later. But you want to have really solid keyword research. You want to have really solid heading tags, so H2, H3 tags, and you want to include natural sounding words. You don't want to keyword stuff, but you want to include keywords throughout your content that you can also rank for that's related to your main topic at hand, but not exactly the same. I do this by starting the whole process on a piece of paper with a pen and a piece of paper or good notes and my Apple Pencil. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes I do one, sometimes I do the other. But I always start the rough draft of my outline for my blog post on paper so I get an idea of what I want the content to be, put it on paper, and then once I'm done with that, I actually go to the computer and I start my research process. So I always start out by determining what my blog post format is gonna be. Am I going to create a list post, how-to post, or a roundup post? Those are the 3 different formats of blog posts that I rely on the most often. So I decide what that is gonna be before I ever even start outlining. That way I know where I'm taking people. Now, once you have your outline, your rough draft outline on paper, then you're gonna start your research process. So at this point, I actually am going out and I'm doing keyword research, and I'm looking for some other things within that keyword research, and I'm doing competitor research. So let's start with keyword research first. Now, this is where the ninja tip comes in. So as I'm doing my keyword research and I'm figuring out kind of what my competition is, what the search volume is, on every single one of those keywords I'm looking for, I'm looking at something else. And I don't think that most people know this is even, they can use this to rank. But I'm looking for the people also ask questions, and I'm including those in my content as H2 tags. In this search result for Pinterest traffic strategy, there are some questions that people ask related to Pinterest traffic strategy and Pinterest marketing. Now I'm gonna pull those out and I'm gonna put them in my rough outline that I am compiling on the computer with that keyword research, and I'm going to see where they fit into the overall content and what I'm actually doing with this piece of content. So for this example of the Pinterest traffic strategy, I wrote a guide about using Pinterest marketing for different industries, and it's like a full, really long guide. It's like 3,000 words. So within that, I cover a bunch of different things that you should do in your Pinterest strategy. So I took the people also ask questions and I put them in and I answered them within the content. So these are questions people are asking, and ideally, if I do my job right, Google will feature me within the answer of that question on the platform. So right alongside doing keyword research, I'm also looking at competitors at the same time and figuring out what content is on page 1. What are they creating? And how can I also create it? But not just that, how can I create it better? So that's a question I'm asking myself every time I'm looking at competitor research. How can I do this better? I don't look at their content. I'm not reading the full blog post. I'm not trying to learn from them. That way I don't have I'm not mimicking their work or anything like that. But I am looking at their content. I'm looking at their main points. I'm looking at their sub points. What are they using for supporting data? Are they using infographics, videos? Are they showing people how to do something and they have screenshots? Is that something I need to also do to put in my content to support my points? Those are things I'm looking for. All right, so now that you have all of your supporting points, you know what you want to include in your final outline. We're actually going to format and create the final outline. So what I like to do is take all of my main points, and those are the main points in the outline. And I use the outline feature in Google Docs. So it starts with a 1, and then I have a sub item A, and then under that I have some Roman numeral kind of sub points as well. So all of my H2s are going to be my main points. And then under that are going to be any supporting details or anything that I need to film, screenshot, or include in the actual content. And then any list items that I'm doing in like bullet points or numbered lists, I'm putting in the outline as well. Once you have that, like flush out what your main points are gonna be, and then you're gonna add your supporting points under that, and then you are going to think about what your final call to action is for that piece of content. What do you want them to do when they're done reading? You don't want to just create a piece of content and then leave them to it. We need to include some sort of product, some sort of call to action to an email list. That way they know what their natural next step is. So for me, for this particular piece of content, I'm going to include my email list opt-in that's like my content strategy, like how to formulate your own content strategy, basically. That's it. That's like the basis of creating an outline. So I'm going to include this actual outline that I'm filming this video for in the blog post so you can see what that looks like and you can formulate your own. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below, do you outline your blog posts or your videos before you get started? If so, what does that process look like for you and how do you do it? That's it for now, friends. If you want more content just like this, click on over to our content marketing playlist and we will see you next time.